Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Economics. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing good. Today I've brought for you all another question in our Discuss Answer series. This question came in May-June 2025, 0455, paper 13. This refers to the topic, one of the topics, macroeconomic topics, economic growth. The question says discuss whether or not economic growth will improve living standards in a city. Now there's a twist in the question. Usually they ask us regarding an economy or a country, and candidates tended to overlook the key word in this question, which was city. This is what the examiner said. Now we will be answering the question looking at the term city in the question. First, we'll go on defining what is economic growth. So we'll say, by definition, economic growth refers to an increase in the economy's capacity, the productive capacity of the economy to produce goods and services over time, which is measured by an increase in the real GDP. Now the question is asking us whether or not economic growth will be improving living standards in a city. Again, we are familiar with the format of answering an 8-marker question, that we have to produce a well-balanced argument. Now, examiners don't ask us to brush it off with a conclusive statement. However, I still advise my learners that it looks good if you brush it off with a conclusive statement. So if we go about saying that, yes, economic growth will improve living standards in a city, so how will you go about saying that? That yes, economic growth will be increasing the level of employment in the country, because an increase in economic growth means an increase in the productive potential, increase in the economic activities taking place. So there are increase in the economic activity taking place in the city. So overall, what's going to happen? The firms are going to be setting up their businesses. So when they're setting up their businesses, what's going to happen? They're going to be demanding more labor. So when they're going to be demanding more labor, this means the overall level of employment level in that city is going to rise. So the people who are redundant or unemployed in that city, they will get employed. The level of unemployment will fall, or the level of employment level is going to rise. So now the second point is that yes, since now people are going to be employed, they're going to be better off. So what does that mean? That means that their income level is going to rise. So when their income level is going to rise, what's going to happen? Their living standard is going to improve. Or in other words, you could say that the level of poverty in the city is going to witness a dip. So we could say that there would be a dip in the, or a fall in the level of poverty in the city. Why? Because more and more people are now employed. As a result, well, now people are going to be earning a steady source of income. What does that mean? It means that the spending is going to increase. People are going to be spending, buying more goods and services. This means that the revenue, the tax revenue, which is one of the major sources for the government, is going to witness an increase, both in terms of direct and indirect sources. How direct? Because the people are going to be earning incomes, firms are going to be making profits. So direct revenue, direct taxes is going to increase, income tax, profits, taxes on profits. The government is going to enjoy that. Plus, since now the people are going to be spending because they are experiencing an increase in their income, so the government is also going to be witnessing an increase in indirect tax revenue. So through both sources of taxes, the government is going to be witnessing an increase in their tax revenue. Furthermore, increase in economic growth, in other words, means that there is going to be a higher level of investment in the city, which means that the people are going to be enjoying a variety of goods and services. They're going to be enjoying better housing services, better healthcare facilities. Overall, the quality of life of people of that particular city is going to improve. Better education, better housing, better health, more sanitation. could also be possible that the access to technology or innovation takes place. Maybe economic growth means the technological advancement is taking place and better healthcare, improved communication systems, and a better or a higher level of urban living, improved level of urban living, the citizens of that city are going to enjoy. However, you could say that economic growth does not always improve the living standards. If economic growth is only benefiting maybe a small proportion of the population, so it could mean that the wealth is concentrated only among the rich and the poorer residents might be struggling. So the living standards might not improve overall for the citizens of that city, right? For the residents of that city. So this means it's going to be worsening the level of income disparity. So the income disparity is going to worsen, or the gap between the rich and the poor is going to widen. Furthermore, it could also lead to certain urban problems, such as maybe if economic growth is leading to a rise in traffic congestion, or in the increasing the level of pollution, or maybe it's causing the pricing of houses to rise, or maybe it's causing overcrowding. So what's going to happen is that the quality of life of the residents of that particular area, of that particular city, is going to witness a fall. So instead of improving their living standards, the real GDP is going to fall. Furthermore, we could also say that economic growth might also lead to demand pull or cost push inflation, which means again that the real living standards is going to fall. We can also say that maybe if the growth is focused on particular industries only, so the citizens or the residents of that particular city may not be able to witness an increase in their living standards, because it would only be confined, the benefits would only be confined to limited sector or to a particular income group. So the conclusion would be that if economic growth is reducing the level of income disparity and the benefits are enjoyed equally among the residents of the city, plus it's contributing towards an increase in the real GDP, then it's suitable, then it's beneficial. Otherwise, it would not be favorable. Otherwise, it would be harmful, would not be suitable. I hope you've understood how to go about writing this answer. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more such questions. Happy learning.